Listen to these words of wisdom from the late and great Archbishop of Canterbury, Arthur Michael Ramsay, from the year 1936 on ecumenism. While the Anglican Church is vindicated by her place in history through a strikingly balanced witness to the gospel, to the church, and to sound learning, her greater vindication lies in pointing through her own life to something of which she is a fragment. Its credentials are its incompleteness, with the tension and travail in its soul. It is clumsy and untidy. It baffles neatness and logic, for it is sent not to commend itself as, quote, the best type of Christianity, but rather through its own life to point to the universal church, wherein all have died. This is from his book, The Gospel in the Catholic Church, 1936. Again, Arthur Michael Ramsay. You see, Anglicanism, in its very moorings, in its very essence, reality, is ecumenical. Anglicanism will forever be tied to ecumenism because that is at so much of the core reality of what Anglicanism is. Yes, it's a return to the scriptures and to the fathers, but in that it is inherently meant to be an eclectic bridge building reality. And we see this in so many ways in her life. It's cruciform in its very nature. We see this between the East and the West in a sense, right? We have the Celtic past, which is very Eastern, very Syriac, and we have the Western past, obviously, coming up in the 6th century through St. Augustine of Canterbury. So we have the Latin and the Eastern emphasis there. We see this in the Reformation period, right? In a sense, it takes on certain elements and emphasis of the Reformation, but also carries over much from medieval Catholicism from the continent, from Latin Catholicism. We see this in the evangelical revival, which is actually inherently an Anglican movement, in the 18th century, in Methodism. Yet also in the Tractarian movement, which comes in the 19th century. So you see there's this this dual sides of Christendom. It's very eclectic in its reality, and it's very cruciform in its reality. So just as an individual is called to take up their cross and follow Christ, in many ways, ecclesial traditions are required to do that as well. And I would say, and I stand on solid ground here with so many great minds going back, whether we want to say Henry Chadwick, whether we want to say somebody like Arthur Michael Ramsay, William Temple, F.D. Morris. So many great Anglican figures have talked about this, even Vernon Staley, other people. Anglicanism, in its very core, is Catholic. And partially what that means is holding in tension all of the truth of Christendom. It's the Vincentian canon, right? That which is believed always by everywhere and all. Anglicanism holds that in its life, and it's cruciform in reaching out one hand in each direction. And in a sense, being willing to be that meeting place where all where it can be a bridge for others to come together. We're certainly not the only tradition that does that. However, we are one beautiful expression of the Plene Esse where that occurs.